Top 20 Architecture Interview Questions and Answers. Who is an architect? This is an individual who designs buildings and, in many cases, supervises their constructions. Below are the top 20 interview questions and answers you are likely to face when looking for an architecture job. 1. Why are you interested in this role? Here the interviewer wants to know why you are interested in working for them as an architect. It would be best to consider talking about practicing the skills you have and learn from the hiring company. Sample answer: I was motivated to apply for this role once I saw it because I have the passion for this job. Designing has been one of the best careers that I have indulged in. Also, I would like to use the skills that I learned from the university and the experience I have from my previous roles to better your performance in construction fields when it comes to designing. I have also seen this company's great buildings designed well and its services to other companies on the same. I want to learn and improve my skills from your team as well. Despite having good skills in architecture, I must say that I am not there yet. I need to sharpen my skills and be better than I am today. 2. What are the roles of an architect? The interviewer wants to learn whether you are aware of your duties and responsibilities as an architect. Mention to them the primary duties and responsibilities of an architect. Sample answer: there are several duties and responsibilities I am entitled to as an architect. The main among the many roles are: 1. Leading and developing projects from early concept through design development. 2. Prepare drawings, specifications, and construction documents necessary for construction. 3. Design and document commercial and industrial building projects. 4. Do detailed consultation with clients to determine their requirements. 5. Organize and manage construction permit documents. 6. Resolve complex design issues and modify existing plans and elevations to meet the client's needs. I believe that those would be my primary duties as an architect, and I have the total capacity to perform them effectively. 3. What are the qualities that an architect need to be successful? The interviewer expects you to tell them about your qualities and can help you become a successful architect. Talk about the qualities that you think can help you be successful in this role. Sample answer: as an architect, there are a number of qualities that you need to be successful in this role. Firstly, as an architect, you need to be super creative since many designs need critical creativity. Secondly, as an architect, one should be able to work in teams since there are a lot of consultations made from other professionals like plumbing and electric wiring. Good communication skills are also a quality that an architect should have. Good artistic and drawing skills are also a priority when it comes to architecture. Lastly, an architect should always have commercial knowledge. These are qualities that I have, and I believe that I will use them to work effectively for you. 4. What significant challenges did you face during your last role? How did you manage? The interviewer asks you about the difficulties you have encountered while working as an architect in your previous roles. Talk about the key challenges you faced and how you were able to manage them. Sample answer: I must say that one of the biggest challenges I have faced from my previous role is lack of cooperation from other departments involved in construction. When I talk of these departments, I mean the plumbing, painting, electrical engineers, etc. Without cooperation from them, you will have a tough time as an architect designing. To manage this, I had to choose a team from every department involved in construction to work with. When you have a team like this, you work with people you know well. There must be maximum cooperation from them. 5. Describe your daily routine as an architect. The interviewer wants to know what activities you will be performing daily and what order you will use to perform them. Give them a very organized schedule of your daily activities as an architect from the first activity after arrival at the office till the last one. Sample answer: the first activity after arriving at my office would be reviewing any new proposed design of a new project. Next activity, I would start my sketching on any pending projects that need to be attended to that day. I would then prepare minutes of the findings of projects I have been working on. I would then schedule a meeting with the client to make briefings on the project and estimate the cost. I would then make calls on the ongoing projects to follow up on how they are doing and if they needed any help. I would then get back to my normal work of drawing and designing upcoming projects. This would be a very busy day at work. 6. Describe briefly about your experience. The interviewer wants to know about your experience in this field. Talk about where you have worked, the experience you got there, and the number of years or months you have worked. Sample answer. After completing my bachelor's degree in urban and regional planning, I was employed as an intern for 1 year in a very busy government department by the name National Construction Authority. Here, I gained a lot of experience since I was able to participate in big government projects. After working as an intern, I must say that they were pleased with my skills and I was employed on a 4-year contract. I worked as an architect in this department for 4 other years before my contract ended. I would say that I have all it takes to get this role as far as experience is concerned. 7. What kind of strategies and mindset is required for this role? The interviewer wants to know what your attitude is towards this role. Talk about the mindset that an architect is supposed to have in this role. Sample answer. To be successful in this role, one needs to have very positive attitudes towards the role. An architect should always think on purpose. One should always focus on solving complex issues, solve problems, and make difficult, accountable decisions to solve problems in this industry. When solving these issues, there should be 3 considerations that one has to look into to do a good job. The 3 of the factors to consider are space, time, and people. You have to think and put all these considerations into place when designing. 8. What is the biggest challenge that you foresee in this job? The interviewer wants you to tell them what challenges this field is likely to face in the coming future. Talk about the most severe difficulty that you foresee in the industry. Sample answer. Space is one of the considerations that I have to consider when designing a building. But, people have built a lot of buildings such that in 10 years, we will have a lot of challenges with space. The architects will have a hard time considering space. As a result, we might find ourselves doing renovations on buildings more than starting projects from scratch. This must be one of the biggest challenges that the architecture industry will likely face in the future. 9. How do you stay motivated in your work? The interviewer wants to know what keeps your morale high when you are working. Tell them what motivates you to continue working as an architect. Consider talking about success and achievements as your daily motivators in your career. Sample answer. Since I started working as an architect, I must say that the beautiful buildings and infrastructures that I have designed are my top motivators. When I drive around the city, I see many buildings that have come out of the work of my hands. They make me design more beautiful buildings than those at all times. This is what I refer to as a success. Success is always my daily motivation. 10. Describe a time when you failed in this role and the lessons you learned. Your interviewer knows very well that in this industry, mistakes must be made. They expect you to tell them when you made a mistake, and the results were not as desired. Talk about the event and the lesson that you were able to learn. Sample answer. In my previous role, I had a project that was assigned to me by a client. It was a warehouse building construction. I had never designed one before. This was my first time, and I did a lot of research about it. Little did I know that when designing some buildings like warehouses, there is a lot that you should consult with safety measures expertise to advise on measures that have to be taken whenever there is a hazard. When the engineer noticed, we had to redo the whole project again. I learned that it is good to seek advice from experts depending on the buildings you are designing. 11. Why do you feel you are most suited for this role? Here, the interviewer wants you to tell them why you think you are the best candidate over the others. Consider talking about unique qualities, skills, and experience in this field that can be an added advantage to you. Sample answer. To start with, it is clear that this job needs a well-experienced architect. I believe that having 5 years of experience in government ministry is all it takes for this job. I have been involved in the successful construction of buildings across this town and country as well. The experience I gained from there is all that is needed for this job. I believe that is an added advantage to me. 12. Share with us your greatest achievement. The interviewer wants you to share the most significant goal you have achieved in your career with them. Talk about the most significant awards, promotions, and aims that you have attained in this field. Sample answer. As far as my career is concerned, I must say that working in a government department for 5 years must come along with a lot of rewards, achievements, and promotions. But, to talk about the biggest of all, I was chosen as an architect to design the capital city drainage systems in the city. This is a post that few would get in the country. My team and I did a great job, and the governor of the city recognized our efforts and awarded me as the architect of the city certificate. This was the biggest award I have received so far. 13. Talk about the process of architecture. The interviewer wants to know the phases that you follow when designing. Start from the first until the last phase. Sample answer. The process of architecture involves 1. Interview and initial discussion. 2. Information gathering and documentation. 3. Scheme design and visibility. 4. Design development and permit documents. 5. Selection of a contractor. 6. Construction administration. 14. Mention to us the top 10 tools that you must need as an architecture. The interviewer wants you to tell them the tools you will be using when performing your tasks as an architect. Sample answer. There are several tools that are essential to an architect. The top 10 are the architect's scale ruler, desk lamp, drafting board, T-square, mechanical pencil, drafting chair, lining pens, compass, electric eraser, and tracing paper. These are my top 10 tools and equipment that I would use while performing my duties and responsibilities. 15. Tell us the type of architectural styles that you know of. The interviewer is asking you to mention the kind of architectural styles that you know of. Talk about the main types of architectural styles you would use when performing your duties as an architect. Sample answer. There are several styles that an architect can use to style projects. Among the main types are 1. Greek and Roman classical architecture. 2. Gothic architecture. 3. Baroque architecture. 4. Neoclassical architecture. 5. Victorian architecture. 6. Modern architecture. 7. Postmodern architecture. 8. Neo-futurist architecture. These are the main styles of architecture in this field that I would be delighted to use in your company. 16. Talk about 5 technological advances in architecture. In this question, the interviewer expects you to talk about the technological advances the architecture industry has made. Sample answer. Technology has helped a lot in connecting the architect's mind with the designing techniques. It has improved this sector. Some of the advancements that have been witnessed are 1. Building information modeling, BIM, helps distribute information to all the stages of the construction process. 2. Artificial intelligence, which helps collect information like the site weather conditions. 3. Big data for storing intensive information and data that is relevant to this field. 4. The generative design, which uses artificial intelligence to generate design options using a set of algorithms. 5. The virtual reality, which helps the architect explain better to the client about their projects. These advancements have been very significant in this field. 17. Tell us 5 factors you should consider when selecting building and floor materials. The interviewer is testing your knowledge on what should be your focus when selecting building and floor materials to use in a building. Talk about the key factors to consider. Sample answer. There are a number of factors to consider when selecting these materials. Among the 5 are 1. Physical requirement. 2. User experience. 3. Time and money. 4. Context or setting. 5. Upkeep. 18. How would you handle a client who does not want to take your advice? The interviewer wants to see how you can relate to a client that is differing from your opinions. Sample answer. It is essential to first listen to your client and advise them accordingly. If their ideas are not making sense in any way, it is important to advise them on how they should go about it. Also, tell them the advantages of using an architect when planning on their projects. 19. What is your biggest strength? The interviewer wants to know what you can do best as far as this career is concerned. Sample answer. As an architect, I prefer working in teams. I work best when there is teamwork. There is a lot of performance efficiency when working as a team than working as an individual. 20. How would your close friends describe you professionally? The interviewer wants to know how other people see you as an architect. Sample answer. I must say that the close friends who I have interacted with professionally would describe me as a creative, energetic young man who loves drawing.